let social media catch up with the live. Hey, evening, Stuart. How's it going? Not sure who wrote that, but hopefully you can register your name. Don't forget to click on the link on the way in, guys. Right, I can see a few of you coming in now. So good evening, all. Lee Ashby here, Motocross and Spear Memories. Thanks for coming in this evening. We've got a fantastic guest again for part 2. Really buzzing for this. I know you guys are. So I'll just get my thank yous out the way. Pat Stott. Right, I'm sharing my questions now, Lee. Feel free to ask whenever. Okay, mate. I did have a chat off air about your 90s motocross, so it's well known, obviously. Right, big thanks for the support to Simon Pardo of White Eagle Finance. They give quality financial advice for pensions, mortgages, investments, and protection. Check out the website at www.whiteeaglefinance.co.uk. You can quote me or Motocross and Spear Memories for free advice. Big thanks to the legend Stefan Everts with his S72 Gin and Vodka brand. Check out his website at www.s72gin.com. Big thanks to Lee Owen of Owen Developments. They specialise in supplying turbochargers to a global customer base, covering motorsport, performance, aftermarket and OEM sectors. Check out the shop site at www.owenturbos.com, also www.owendevelopments.co.uk. Big thanks to Terry Smith with his Terry Smith Painting and Decorating. You can call him on 07961 537 505 for any of your needs. And also big thanks to Craig Triplett of Jardine Conservatories. Check them out on www.jardineintalford.co.uk. Right, thank you very much. Pat's already gotten his questions in. Evening, Wayne. How's it going? Bring it on, Lee. How's it going, David? Ben Rumbold, is this showing my name, Lee? It is, mate. There you go. You're on the screen. So you've got it sorted. Right then, let's get the intro video in. Done a nice new one ready. So let's get it going then, people. Here we go.
I was playing? Huh.
I'm getting better at these videos. My man, Seb Tortelli.
How you doing? Nice to see
How's
you again.
How's it
going? Good.
Really cool to see you, mate. I really enjoyed putting that video together. I'm getting a little bit better at them. It's a bit new.
Yeah, practice make it better. That's what they say.
That's exactly that, Zev. Loving that. Loving the video. Right then, I can already see. Thanks ever so much, mate, coming on again. Awesome to get you on. Top man. Really appreciate it. We did speak off air just a minute ago in messages. Oh, Pat's got his questions in. You know the 90s motocross.
There's 6 of them.
Yeah, he's got his 6. That's
Well,
it.
You got 7 this time.
He said I've got 6. He messaged me earlier today and goes, I've got 6 ready to go. I'm like, okay.
Okay, let's see what it is.
All right, here we go. So let's go with his first one then, straight off the bat. One of his first ones. Pat Stott, here he is, 90s motocross. How difficult was it adapting from the steel-framed SR Kawasaki to going into an aluminium on the RC Honda, and the differences with rules regarding fuel, frame, suspension, etc.? Pat from 90s motocross.
How difficult? Well, it was a transition because I guess I rode most of my European racing time and youth on a Kawasaki. So the Kawasaki has a very typical chassis that you even today, if you ride with the chassis with the Kawasaki, you still can feel the same way. So they really have like a particular feeling to it. And then switching to the Honda was, it was a different beast, I guess I would say, because the first aluminum chassis were a little bit on the stiff side, and because everybody was a little bit scared to break them, so the reaction of the bike was way more electric, more more quick, and than today's. So that was a little bit more tricky at some time and a little bit more difficult to adjust the bike with suspension. So a lot of more things where we had to work with Showa at the time to make the bike, good on the rideable, and Supercross to Motocross was a little bit different also. So I guess the early chassis were a lot of work. Especially when I came into Honda, they were not sure about the new chassis, so we had to run older chassis at the time because of the production rule, and we couldn't in the US, make like in Europe, adapt new chassis and develop the chassis. So we had to wait for the standard frame to show up. So that was a little bit at the beginning. It's always a little bit more difficult that way. But the guys were working, and we worked through the season, and that was good. That was sometimes surprising, but at the end of the day, it was okay.
Beautiful. Right, here we go then. Lots of people saying evening. Welcome on, Zeb. Right, I'll go with another one of Pat's. Do any manufacturers stay in contact, help you still as such?
Still in very good contact with Pete Bauer and then Robert Jonas at KTM. Pete was a longtime friend. We raced together for a long time, and actually, when he paralyzed himself, I was already in the US, and I came back to visit him, and I had a very close relationship with him. So that was very important for me. So I still have today a very good relationship with KTM. And basically, that's the guys who help me out when I need bikes or something like that. So that's always nice to have somebody, some friends, and obviously some sponsors that stayed, and new sponsors and friends who created their own brand, like 100%. Guys who've been out there for a long time and long-time friends. So that's people that and then they got you back, and that's always nice. I got since I got to Europe, I went back to Fox Racing also, so we've been working together. So that's the great experience also. So all this put together, good guys, good group of guys, and I guess when you retire, you find out who your real friends are.
Exactly that. That's really cool that you're still involved with those guys and they support you and stuff. That's really nice.
Yeah, no, it was good. We go to the races, and there's a bunch of guys out there that like Twin Air. I was always a Twin Air rider for forever, even in the US and in Europe. So we still have a really good relationship, and they help me through the guys that I train and everything. So that's really good to have guys like that backing you up, and some guys like Salaries and relationship basically that were built over the years. And when you build a relationship and you stay with some people for a long time, then it's great, for both sides, and we can do stuff together.
Yeah, nice, and a bit of loyalty and all that. It's always good.
Yeah.
For sure. I got Richard Hardin here on YouTube. He's put, "Hi Lee, looking forward to this one. Could you please ask Zeb if he could go back in time and do his career all over again, would he do anything different?"
Yeah, that would. I will change one thing. I think I talked about it last time when we were here, but I think the first time I will go back to the US, I will do my first season of Supercross in the light class to be able to adapt properly, not to outdoors, because outdoors I had the experience and the years of riding outdoors, but the fact that I went straight to the big bike, and then on top of it, I was injured just 1 week after the title in '98. So I came into the season, I think I had 2 or 3 weeks of riding straight to the US Supercross with a new bike, with a Honda. So that was a lot to take in. And then I think at the time I should have made the choice to wait for the East Coast. That would have given me another month of riding and on a light bike to be able to learn back Supercross and get things moving further and better. But I think that's one of the big mistakes that I made. And if I wanted to change something, that's one thing I would change for sure.
Interesting. Pat's got another one of his here. He's talking about, obviously, was it sadness or happiness, obviously, at the MX Nations 2000 after the final moto? One of the greatest races ever seen, bar Bagging and Varsi. I remember that.
Yeah, no, it was. That was awesome races, and we had a bunch of like that with RC that year and the following years in the US. It was disappointing because we had everything going for us that year. You know, France was very strong. Stefano Roncada beat Pastrana in the light class, and that was tying points with RC. He went 1-2, I went 2-1, so we were good. And then Bollé broke his nose, Fred, on practice. He got a rock on the nose, and he was not able to race. So I think that's when we missed the first Motocross the Nation Championship for France. So that was a bummer, but the race was amazing for me in France. For sure, it was maybe 3 hours away from my hometown. So a lot of people I knew came to the race, and Saint-Jean d'Angély was a racetrack that I really like as a young kid. I mean, I raced there on the 85, so you know, I went to the French Elite Championship also out there with the French Federation. So, and I did some camps with Jackie there with the French team when we had the youth team out there also. So many things. It's a racetrack that always been involved a lot into the French history of motocross. So having the nations there was amazing, and able to do good at there was amazing. And I think it's one of the best race memories that I have, for sure, one of them.
Yeah, I think I'm sure you can click on YouTube now, and I've seen it. You both hit each other in corners, and the track's amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, RC was a little bit like me. I mean, we were not scared, and when we had something on the head, it was not going anywhere else, and we fight it all the way to the end. For sure, it was not one of us giving up, and the one not finishing in the front, it was because the other one really beat him. There was no other way around.
Well, I'm glad you pronounced the track like that as well, because it sounds so much better when you say it in a French accent as well. It sounds much better.
Yeah, that was not the French accent. I went with the American accent.
Yeah, you got that tinge of American.
Yeah, a little bit.
Spanish as well soon, won't it, Seb?
Yeah. I'm not as comfortable on that side. Yeah, still.
No.
I have to work on it.
Work on it. Pat put about Talavera 97 or Brazil Motocross the Nations 99. Which crash hurt the most?
Talavera in 87 hurt the most. I think I did. I had to miss the next race because I torn my my ligament in my ankle. So I had to take that 2 weeks off, and then after I had to wear a air cast on while racing to be able to do it. So that one hurt a lot. And my biggest crash is definitely Brazil 99 for Motocross Nation. But you see it, I mean, that's the biggest one. You type Sebastian Tortelli crash, you see it on YouTube, no problem. That's the one who come up. And being the biggest one, and came out with it with not even a scratch, not even a bruise. And that was like, when I saw myself going, I'm like, that one's going to hurt. It's like, as you're flying up in the air and the bike is going and then you're going, it's like, that one won't be good. And, I stood up and I still remember, I mean, I see the videos of it, like nothing happened. And not even a scratch or not even nothing. It's like sometimes you fall over a corner and then you break your collarbone, or, I mean, you hurt your knee like, crazy or something. But that one was my biggest one. And I don't know, an angel was over my head that day.
So I remember that Talavera when you were literally gone in that motor as well, weren't you? You were gone. I remember you were out front.
Yeah.
Sure you was quite a long way in front as well. It just sort of
that's we come back to the youth period. You're young and fast, and I was definitely the faster there. And then I had over 10-second lead, and I don't know why I was still riding like I was just getting on the lead that day. But that's that's how I was raised. I guess never
flat
give up
out
until the end. Yeah, flat out. You go and then you go. That's the way it is.
Gotta love it, those.
Yeah. I mean, it's always been like that, And when I injured my foot before the Nations '98, it was the same thing. I mean, I was doing a French championship and I had like a 30-second lead or something, but I was still riding. And 2 laps to the end, my rear brake broke on the face of a jump. I came to the jump, and then that was like after a long straightaway, and I hit the brakes, the rear brake, and my pedal went through. So I didn't get any brakes, and then I just flew up in the air and broke my foot. and but I had no reason. I was just riding, and I was riding at my pace, and just happened.
Yeah. Right, I've got Stuart Hare here on Facebook. His brother raced professional speedway in the UK, Zeb, just so you got the heads up
Okay.
for the question. He put, can you ask Zeb if he ever tried any other form of motorcycle racing, and what does he think of speedway, and did he fancy a go, or have you had a go?
I did the speedway once in the US. Actually, it was an oval track with the steel shoe,
That's it,
and
yeah.
it was I think it was with a 450 Honda or something like that. And that's definitely need to get some used to it, and I mean it was fun. I liked it. And I like more like when you get smaller bikes like 110s, and you put speedway tires on, and then you do a racetrack on the flat, and that is pretty cool. I love it, and I used to ride a lot actually with 110s when I was racing Supercross, and had like a little Supercross track for the 110, and then that helped me a lot actually through technique to be able to be softer for Supercross and be able to ride better actually in Supercross. And I spent quite a bit some hours on that as part of fun and training at the same time, so that was good. But no, speedway was definitely the guys with no brakes and everything. That's definitely take practice and take time for sure. But no, except that not much road racing. Not definitely never get a chance to do road racing. Never tried it on circuit. I have my road bike license, so I passed it.
Okay.
So I have that, but I never really did it much of it. But I got that, and that's basically it. A little bit some enduro and some running like that with some friends and some extreme enduros. I did that thanks to Eric Perronat at the time. He invited me to do one in the US after I retired, and that was pretty fun. Also pretty extreme, definitely, but it was fun. So it was a good time. So yeah, a little bit, but not extreme. Still motocross guy, and that's I enjoy it quite a bit. Supercross and motocross was good time.
Thanks for that, Stuart. I'm speaking to your brother next week, Lawrence, so I look forward to that. Pat, he's loving his questions. He's got
he's back on it.
he's had these waiting for a while. He's had these right out. Very specific as well. Redbird 01. How did Honda as a team respond? Did they fill up the tank full as you were on the gate to have as much fuel as possible, and you still burned a tank of fuel?
Yeah. Unfortunately, the guys did the best they could that day. We had Glen Ellen before that, a month before, and I almost run out of gas actually at Glen Ellen that same year. And they were, they had a question in mind on that side. So in the US, you were allowed to fill up the tank just before getting on the gate. So my mechanic did fill up, Shane Drew did fill up my tank. And so I was topped out. I could have more fuel. But the mistake we did that year with Honda was actually they changed the rule and were able to add and make a tank bigger. But we didn't see it, and we kept the standard capacity of the tank. So, and that was not enough. So that's why I ran out of gas. Couple 100 yards away from the finish line, and after passing RC, that was a pretty big. Devastating. I tried to push the bike, but it was too steep and I couldn't make it. And that was, I think I finished still 8 or 7 that race because we lapped up to that place. But that was, that was a big disappointment. But that was a mistake. Honda was really nice actually. After that, they sent me to shoot a video in the Caribs for their jet ski who came out after that for as far as NSQ. So that was good. I got to enjoy 1 week of holidays in the winter after that. That'd shooting a video for them. So that was good. That was good.
That was nice. Right, I got Robin Stanton here. How's it going, Robin, on YouTube? After many years of racing, can you maintain your dirt bike, or do you get somebody else to do the work on your dirt bike? And what is the bike you ride now?
So I would say when I was racing, the only thing I knew how to do was change the filter and changed the wheel. Just the wheel,
Okay.
not the tire.
Okay. Yeah. Don't want to do the tire.
No, not the tire. Tied the chain and then change the wheels and change the filter. That was my basic, Then that was it. If I needed something else, somebody else had to do it. I could feel, but I couldn't change whatever needed. After retiring, then you spend more time. Then I got to learn and then got to go through quite a bit. I can maintain the bike, but I don't change the, open the engine or stuff like that. Is not my forte, so I don't go that way. But otherwise, overall, overall, I can, maintain the bike until he breaks, and I say, hey, this thing breaks. We got to fix it. So,
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. You can ride, but let that go over your head.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not good as far as a mechanic. We talked earlier about David Villeman. David Villeman is a great mechanic. He's able to build bike from scratch and put it together. But on my side, no. I was going to school and I didn't spend much time working on the bike. And to be honest, I didn't enjoy it or didn't feel it. What I liked was riding the bike and racing. So the mechanic part was not. No, that was not me.
I'm with you on that. Right, Pat, he's got the 450 Japan 2000. How did they approach you? How good stroke bad was the prototype? Did you enjoy riding, racing, testing in Japan?
So that was Honda Japan, who says that I had to go and race that bike for the first time. So that was a lot of pressure. And we were in Supercross testing, but they asked specifically for me to come and race it. So the part that happened was a tough race for me. For one reason is I raced the MGM Supercross. I think it was the week before I left to go there, and I had a big get off, and I went over the bars in the main event. And actually, I jammed my pelvis. So, and the next day was the Monday. I had to fly to Japan. So I'm like, I couldn't sit. Basically, that was the way it was. So I flew all the way to Japan. It was 12 hours. I couldn't sit on the seat, so I was sitting sideways to try to make it, and I made it. So I got there in Japan, and then we start testing the bike. I think we had 3 days of testing before that. And the bike was a prototype, like the guy, like he said.
That knows everything,
yeah. So a lot of things to go through and test and things to change. And we had one problem. The main problem of the bike was for some reason the Japanese couldn't fix it. And I think they had to change. They changed everything after. But that was something due to the carburetor. The bike will start going higher in RPM by itself, and I could do one lap, and then after one lap I wouldn't need to take the throttle, and then the bike will go by itself, and I could still ride, but I couldn't back up. So I had to use the clutch and everything, and then so that was like they couldn't find the problem until they changed manufacturers and they put a different carburetor on it, and I was able to ride the bike. So we fixed that problem, and then we adjusted the suspension, and the engine was what it was. It was not as strong as the bike we had today, and so that was it. So I went to the race that way. And so I still couldn't sit. Basically, I was standing up a lot, and the Japanese guys were coming to me and says, "Oh, you ride a lot standing up." I said, "Yeah. Right now, I cannot do much more." So I went there, and then and I raced, and I still managed to win the race. And the level was a little bit lower, so it was a little bit easier for me. And but I still did. I think it was 3 motos. And I think I almost never sit until just the start. So if you see a picture from there, I'm most likely standing up because I couldn't sit. So until I got to go back, and I think I had Bercy the week after that. And I went to France, to Paris, and to my doctor. And then there's only a way to adjust the pelvis. So I had to go through it. so the rubber gloves, and then they fixed it in France, and I was able to race properly after that.
That was good. So fair play to riding like that. That must have been quite awkward for sure, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Not good. Not good.
good.
No, not good. I got Ben Rumbold here. He's put, my question would be, how soon was it clear that the hip injury at Portugal was going to end his career? And did I see that Eric Gabors was the first to him when he was stuck on the track?
Basically, when I crashed, I didn't realize it was my hip. I thought it was basically my femur, because I landed on my butt, and my leg was going. I saw my legs going to the right, and I'm like, damn. I when I saw a leg going like that, most of the time from other guys, I'm like, oh, I broke my femur. That was my first reaction, and I'm like, the second reaction was, well, it doesn't hurt that bad, because as long as I was sitting and not moving, I was not in pain. And that's why Eric saw me and out there in the middle of the track. And, he was trying to wave the guys off to make sure they don't hit me, because I couldn't move. And so I sit there for a while until the unit, the guys from the medical came. And one guy tried to push me to lay down, and then the pain started kicking in. And then I was like, I never boxed in my life, but that one I went with the right hand, and then I missed him by that far from his head. But I was so mad. I said, "Don't ever touch me.
Yeah.
If you do, let the next one."
Yeah.
And so they kept me seated, and that was good. And actually, Portugal had one of the doctor was a very big fan of motocross, a surgeon, and he was the doctor of the race. And he had all the medicine to put you down. And actually, when he saw me coming in, he says, "Oh, your hips is out. I'll shoot you," and then which normally never happened on the track. And when you're off, when you're sleeping, I will be just able to pull it back in. So I'm like, he just did it. And my hip was back in maybe 10, 15 minutes. So it was really, after that, I had to stay at the hospital with the weight on my heel to make sure the leg was straight. And that lasted another 2 weeks. And, the time at the hospital out there. But that was just one part of the injury. I realized on the same time when I went back home, that actually did my ACL also, because I went on hyperextension and my ACL blew up, and that created more damage in my knee already that I had before. So that was like also some cartilage was broke and a bunch of stuff. So all put together, I think it was a big alarm for me. And he came back at the same time that 2 or 3 months before, Ernesto Fonseca got paralyzed. And he was a very good friend of mine. We were teammates for some years at Honda, and really liked him. And seeing him crash, and actually I didn't see him crash, but he was with Shendru, who was my mechanic, who was in charge of chassis at that time in Honda. He says he crashed. I mean, Ernesto used to crash big, and this one was a tiny fall. I mean, when he crashed, he was not even like the guys from Honda didn't even get up because he was so small of a crash, but he just crashed on his head. And he was after a while, when he didn't get up, then they went, and that's when he realized he was paralyzed. So that was like this put in perspective, and then 2 kids, and then had to have a full reconstruction of the knee also. So all put together was a big thing for me. And then I went to see Pete at KTM, and I explained to him the situation, and he says, "Well, I understand." And the only things they asked me was if you decide to come, and I still had another year and a half in my contract. He says, "You just have to honor your contract and come ride for us. That's all we're asking you in return. And we can stop the contract today, and no problem." So that was the end of the deal, basically. And even if my contract was running, I I was a guy who wanted to race and not be out there just to do laps and collect a paycheck. So that was not me.
Yeah.
So we went. I mean, that was a decision, and that was a retirement.
Fair enough. Thanks for that, telling us that. Right, what was the fastest that you feel you've ever gone? Where you feel like you could do no more? Redbird around the outside of RC was extraordinary in 2000, for example.
Yeah, as far as memories, that's for sure. That was pretty much amazing there. That's no problem. But I think talking about pure speed, a track where I could feel like I couldn't go faster was Unadilla. I think when we raced two-stroke at Unadilla, it was the first track I ever run out of power on the bike. Being able to ride wide open and couldn't go any faster than that. And that's when the four-stroke was a big difference when the four-stroke came in, because they were able to carry more speed on fast track like this. So that make a big step, and it was no way to do to beat a four-stroke with a two-stroke at Unadilla because of that, part. So I would say this one was where I feel like going the fastest possible. And even if Unadilla was a great track, I liked it, and rocks came up, but that was a great place to ride. And there's, I don't know if there's places where, racing wise, felt like couldn't go faster. For sure. I mean, I think, you can always go faster. There's no limit to that. I mean, you can always be better. I think it's always, when you're a racer, with the material, with the evolutions of the bikes, every year you can step it up. And I think that's what the factories are doing awesome job. I mean, if you take today a stock 450, it's probably as strong and faster than my factory 450 that I had at the time when I was a factory rider, any factory bike at the time. So the evolution in suspension, chassis, and all the things around it. Today's, I mean, you go on a 450, I mean, if you can use a stock 450 to the maximum, you're doing pretty damn good job, because you're going freaking fast. That's for sure. I mean, these bikes are so powerful that, even if you mess up in a corner and then you have a jump, you just turn the throttle and you're going to make it. So that's a good and bad on the same time, because people sometimes, that's a big difference with two-stroke and four-stroke. Because on a two-stroke, you have to be perfect the corner before, the straightaway before to make the jump. And now you got a 450, even if you mess up, you just, turn on the throttle and then you get it. So that's a big, for me, it's easier for people to get injured that way, because maybe they don't have the right technique and they just decide to make the jump and they go with a, full on, and then they make the jump, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not good. And when you crash with a 450 on a big jump, that's never a good ending.
Yeah, I'm sure most people would find that quite scary when Seb Tortelli says you can always go faster. Not many went faster than Seb Tortelli.
No, I think I think every racer thinks that way. I mean, I think you can be happy about your race, you can be happy about your results, you can be happy about many things. But if you look back on your race, you could always done something a little bit better, and I think that's where a racer is a true racer. I mean, a true champion. He always find he's not satisfied, and he always want more, and then until you get to your goal, and then you have to step it up, because the following year everybody step it up also, and then they catch up and they get the motivation. And it's a little bit the same thing that you can see when a new guy came to the category, when he moved up to the light, to the main class. Like I did, my first year, I was so fast. I was easily 2-3 seconds a lap faster than anybody. But the guys on the next season, they work up to it, and I was not faster than them. I was barely faster than them. I remember the second year, that I got my championship, my world championship, the second one. I think the first year I did every lap time. I was the fastest on any track, except deep sand. I mean, Stefan was faster. I mean, there's no question about that. But except that, the rest of the track, you can look at the lap times on the start to get to the gate. Most likely, I was number one. And then the second year came around. I think I didn't do a first place in lap time position until 8 GPs in, I think. And I was like, after the 5th GP, I'm like, I was talking with my mechanic, and I'm like, we got a problem. I'm not getting the lap times anymore.
I got slower or they got faster. Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, man, I used to be able to clinch the first place on lap times, no problem. I mean, it was easy peasy. And the second year, the guys stepped it up big time, and then I wasn't. It took me a while until I got it. And today, I mean, you can still see it. When a new guy comes to the 450, is able to get the fast laps in, and then the racing is a little bit different. But that's, I guess, the youth. When you move up, it's always a big thing. I mean, you can see it. You ride a 250 way higher in the RPM, and then you got the 450. You got to be more caution because the power and the bike will bite you way more easy. So the youth part and then the techniques always help when you're the first year as a rookie. But you can do great things. But at the end of the day, you get it's rare when the guys succeed right away. I mean, you got World Championship, you had Geiger, you had Carl who did it. A bunch of guys did it, but it's never easy one to do.
No, not for sure. Did you like the Daytona? I got a picture of you there at Daytona. Look.
Yeah, I saw it. I remember. It's the first year in the US, actually.
What did you think of that track? Obviously.
Well, it was a tough track. It still is a tough track.
Yeah.
And people compare it to outdoor, but I never really compare it to outdoor. It was a pretty tough, and then the setup of the bike was very particular, where you had to run a really awkward setup of suspension, where basically I remember at the end of the day we will keep the front end, we will keep the forks pretty close to our Supercross setting, and then we have to change the back end quite a bit to make it a little bit softer to be able to ride a little bit more. But it was Daytona was definitely a tough race. At the time, that was the first race that we had during daytime, and it was normally warm, and so you had the heat wave on the same time. And we used to spend the week in Florida or close to Florida to be able to train a little bit with the sand. And but it was not too sandy. At the end of the day, it was mainly rough, and it was a tough track. I mean, I remember seeing you came out of the 20 lappers at the time, which was over 20 minutes. You were pretty exhausted on that one. That was the one who killed you, definitely. I think that was one of the toughest one of the season.
Yeah, I always remember in the 90s, Jeff Stanton was loving the old Daytona, but not many others did.
Yeah, no, it was. You had to be a hard worker to be able to do good. So I most likely did good in Daytona most of the time, but it was not an easy one.
Right, Pat goes, he's got one more. He goes, okay, I'm done for now. I'll let others have a chance. Thanks, Lee and Zeb. He's just got his last one here. I'll let him have his last one. He's put, what was your favourite looking gear? Was it the No Fear versus Fox in 99 to 02? Was at the peak of the setups?
Favorite gear? That's a tough one. There's, I think the gears were going with the years and the youth and older, and I think when I was younger, I liked more the flashy part of it. That was pretty cool. And then as you get older, you like a little bit more, the sober color, and it was cool. I liked one who was, I think, for me original, was one that Thor made, and it was kind of white and like a red, kind of Bordeaux red. And that was, I think they made it just 1 year, and it was like a creamy and then a little bit red. And I did add with them into a Corvette who was red also. It was pretty cool. And that was one, I think, one of my favorite. I liked my first Oxbow gear was the Dragonfly one, the flashy one. And then, that one, definitely. That one was, I was 15 or 16, so that was perfect with my age. And today, I mean, I liked, today gear setup are pretty cool. I think we saw a great evolution in the gears and the material. With Fox, I can see the material that goes through, and then the effort they make to make the lightest gear possible and the one who fits the best. And that's something I think in my era we were not. That was like when I look at the old jerseys that I have, and they are full on cotton and they're weight like so much weight. And today you see, like a Fox jersey is like just like a feather. I mean, you feel like you're almost wearing nothing. And so that's the evolution of the gear. I don't know what's going to be the next one, but it's material and color change, and we come back to flashy colors again, because I think it's a never ending circle. You go back to the old and it's just keep circling around.
Retro, yeah. I did see some pictures. I think I had it up last time. You had some retro Fox gear on as well. You had some pink.
I wear the pink one. I wear the pink one.
Yeah, very nice.
That was a retro day. I was with Backyard Design in Germany. And they did a retro day, and that was cool. A friend of mine had a Honda, so they did the Woody Woodpecker design on the Honda, and then I was able to wear the Fox. Sent me over the retro day of that one, who was like pink, and that was also with how you call that, spider web on it. It was pretty cool.
That's it.
That was
very cool.
Pretty cool. I liked it. It was a good day, fun day.
There's a couple of cool dudes here. There we go. Look.
See, yeah.
Did you always like the Bercy?
Yeah, I mean, it's I saw Bercy as a kid, so for me it was like it was a dream come true, and that was the time I was wearing Oxbow still, and going racing Bercy was amazing. The atmosphere was amazing, so that was pretty cool. That's for sure.
Where was this? I see you. Was that there as well?
Yep, looks like Bercy too. That's Michael Pichon, who is there. David is there.
The Mario.
Oh, yeah, I'm there with number 3 on the KTM. I think that's, no, that's no, yeah, Yves de Maria there on the back. I think it was like when I retired, actually. That's the end of the year. Michael Maschio out there. You got a lot of guys with World Championship out there. That was my last Bercy, yeah.
Very cool.
No, that's Geneva, I think.
Oh, is it?
No, the red on the back is Bercy, actually.
I like that's JT kit you got on there, is it? Is that JT kit?
Yep, that was JT, yep.
Yeah, very nice JT
actually,
kit.
I think I retired already at that time, and that was just a couple years back, and then they had like old guy go around, and that's why you see the guys with the old bikes on and everything. That was like a retro. We had like I think it was like Legend or something like that. They did a turn back on it.
Do you guys, even when you were obviously at the height of your career in the pros, was it still cool for you guys to be on the front of magazines? I did show a few photos of that. Did you guys still sort of do that? Like, I like that. That's nice. Like,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, it's amazing. The one you saw early on, the Racer X one and everything. It's always nice to be able to see yourself on the covers. That one I didn't see it. Yeah, that one I love that one. Racer X was one of the first one. But no, it's always cool. I mean, most of the time I looked at most of the magazine. I look at the pictures, but didn't read the content. You get aggravated sometimes. So
yeah. Careful what you read.
Yeah, exactly. Look at the good pictures and then move on. I think that was the best.
Yeah. Did you enjoy the Suzuki?
Yeah. This one was the prototype, actually. That's the picture with the full-on prototype factory bike. That was taken in Corona. There was between 2 freeways, big hills, and one private guy had a big piece of land, and he had a motocross track on it, and we did a bunch of testing out there. And actually, that was the gear I was talking to you about. That was the cream.
That is the gear. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the one. Yeah, I mean there was a lot of learning curves and testing with that bike. It was amazing, and the guys did quite a bit. And I remember on the first they had problem also with the carburetor, and because it was bugging out when we had G's like between jumps.
Yeah.
And the only solution they found was to ride with the 250F Suzuki carburetor at the time for Supercross.
Right, okay.
And then we got rid of the bogging between
Yeah.
jumps, because sometimes you landed and then you get on the power and the bike was just like cut out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was like not the
sketchy.
Yeah,
It's sketchy. Yeah.
so they found out. I mean, it was Roger actually who found out the idea to change to the 250 carburetor and 250F carburetor at the time, and cure out the problem. And we never had any problem after that. That was cool.
Got Alf Busk. Did his interview the other night. He's a former professional spear rider, Danish. He's put go for it, Ashby. Thanks, Alf, for coming on. So the Speedway guys are all on here as well, Zeb. See, you got the Speedway
man,
guys.
you're busy, huh? You're busy.
Yeah.
Busy man.
Someone's put Tortelli versus Malin at Fox Hills Legends. That was really cool. That was very good as well. That was. You had a lot of battles, obviously, that
first
year.
Yeah. First or second year, yeah. No, the second year. The second year. I remember that one.
That's 96, is it? 96.
96, yep, 96. Yeah. Got good battles. That's for sure. Every weekend, Paul was out there. And the funny thing is, we both, we finished 1-2 on the championship, but we both, I think, the first GP that year, we had almost no points. Both of us. It was like ridiculous. I seized my engine on the second moto, I think, that year. And then on the first moto, I broke my front brake caliper, so I didn't have any front brake. And Paul, I think, had a bike issue also. So we came out of the first, I think it was Jingoli, with like almost no points. And then we're the one who finished 1-2 at the end of the season.
Yeah, certainly snowballed from there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Andy Statham, he put, does Seb think he could go out in one race and show the young guys how it's done?
Well, I still have a good speed. I still enjoy riding. I still ride some. So definitely I'm not, I think it's like bicycle, when you have a certain speed, I'm not saying I'm as fast as I used to be. Definitely physically, I cannot handle it that much, but I can still go pretty good for some laps. And with more time, obviously, you get more comfortable and you get back into it. But I'm still have a decent speed, that's for sure.
I don't doubt that. I got a couple of guys that have not put their names on, but he put, does he not age? He should still be out there racing.
Yeah, I still do. I got some white coming up right here.
Oh, trust me, Zeb, I've literally had loads of messages of going, Jesus Christ, Zeb doesn't look any different at all. Nice compliments. Nice compliments.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, that's good. Some days when I get up, I feel like I get I'm older, that's for sure. Believe me.
Yeah. I got someone here, no name on this one. They put, do you think Tom Vial could become the best ever French rider, apart from yourself, obviously?
Oh, thank you. But I mean, he's a really good French. I mean, he's a really good rider. That's for sure. He got good people on his side, with his father and KTM behind him. So that's already the good, things to go through a long career and a good one. So for him to be the best one, I don't know, but I think he has more championship ahead of him. That's for sure. And his riding style, I like a lot his riding style and how he's very, he knows when to push and not to push. So that's an advantage for a long career and great results. So I'm hoping for him to get good things going forward. And he's like the same, when you look at him, physically is pretty thin, like a Prado, and Prado made it to the 450 with awesome speed, and then sometimes being the fastest out there, and then physical condition a little bit short sometimes, but I think with age you will get better, and you can, Musquin is a good rider that has an amazing career and can ride the 450 super good also. So I think to be the best French guys, there still is some road ahead, And how to calculate if he's the best French guy, it's going to be a tough one. You have GMB who won 3 championships in the US. Also in the US, maybe the best French GP rider, definitely is possible. It's hard. I mean, a lot of people like to compare things, but at the end of the day, not everything is the same, and you cannot compare it. I think it's everybody era is his, and Tom will do, I think, great things in the future. And he's already done amazing. He got a world championship. I think a lot of people dream about, getting one world championship. So he got already that one in the bag, and I'm sure next year would be a great season again for him. So that's, he will do a great career. That's all I can say. Being the best one, I don't know. Time will tell.
JMB and Tortelli. I'll call it now. Adam Winslet here. He normally does some interviews for the Vets to Nations Farley thing. And
he asked me many times to come there. That's for sure.
He did do this to me offline as well, and I had to translate it on Google. So he's done another one. He kept sending me messages like that, going, "Looking forward to you and Zeb tonight in French." I don't know what that is. Can you?
What the sport has been dying. What would you do to change it?
Okay.
That's a good question, and that's true. I think it's been a little bit tougher for sure. I think what we're seeing is a big transformation in our sport. From the sport was, I think the best years were when my era was the best. Michael Pichon and Bollez, and as far as French guys, and I think that was the pinnacle of our sport right there. And then after that, we got to the professional side, and I think today we became a more professional sport. And to go to the GP is tough, and is very expensive for riders. Now we got many guys who ride, and basically they don't make any money riding, and that's a tough sport because they spend a lot of money, and then there's only a handful of guys who are making the money now, making more money, but way less. So that's a tough one. And I think what we need to see for the sport to become alive is, in my perspective, is try to recreate a second championship, which is more closer for the younger guys, and even some guys to be able to make some money. And I think the countries are doing that. I see more people doing the French championship because they're able to make some money and to live from it, as far as a national champion. And they are making some money, like in England also with the British Championship, that they get some prize money and they get some sponsor money. And I think so. We've been seeing basically the move, which is if you go to the World Championship or the European Championship, and that's mean that you're really on the highest level, like MotoGP, and that you're capable of having results, and that your goal is really high, and otherwise you have to be able to stay to the lower level, to the French or national championship for each country, where you can make some good money and good living also. But I think we'll see in the future that the national championship will grow up stronger. And that's, I think, where we will see the evolution of our sport. I think that we'll come back to national championship being more important, like they used to be back in the days. My time when I was racing, it was as important to do the national championship as the world championship. And then in the past years, past 10 years, you see that the guys who do the world championship stop doing the national championship. And so, I mean, to me, I think it's an evolution of the sport. But I still think that national championship is very important. The support of the factories in the national championship is important because a lot of people still rides. A lot of people still enjoy rides, but I think they go more on local races and national. That's what I see, and that's where I think the sport will grow more first, and the world championship or the European Championship will stay really for a 20 plus riders on each categories. I think that's what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah. Got David K here on Facebook. He's put, Zeb, did winning the Anaheim Supercross mean more to you than winning a GP?
As far as just a race, I mean a single race, that's for sure. That was I don't know if he was winning more. Winning Anaheim was a little bit of a big surprise for me. So that was really like icing on the cake that I didn't see coming. So that was like a big, amazing surprise. Yeah. But winning a GP was different because it was I think had a lot of value because when I was winning a GP, I was going toward a championship goal. So in the long term, that was really important for me. Like winning a national also because I battled for championship with RC and national championship in the US. So that was, I would say, outdoor win or GP win was more important for me, I think. And I really enjoyed my Supercross win. I wish I had more Supercross win for sure. And then definitely I could say I will enjoy it at that time more.
Yeah, for sure. This is quite a funny one here from Ben. He's put, my mate Paul Rogers was going to gate crash your interview at Fox Hills 97 so that he could steal your kit. Did he manage it? And did Zeb hear us shouting off, off, off?
Don't remember. 97? That's a long time ago. Man,
that's a long time ago.
Yeah, that's a long time ago. That's a
very long time ago.
So far. A lot of things happening.
I think Tom Brown's acquired a lot of Zeb's stuff. That's for sure. So thanks to Tom Brown from Motor Extreme, I've got all these here and a few others that I showed you the other night. So that's pretty cool, for sure. Yeah. Someone's put no name on it, but what do you think of the MXGP these days?
Like I say, I think it's I think the high level is in the MXGP, and then it's pretty expensive to run the GPs to be able to race the GPs. So you have to be one of the top guys and really fast. And I think the level is super high, and the guys are showing that the MXGP took over the motocross side worldwide, definitely compared to the US. And the US is the Supercross world. And we can see that today. I mean, the industries, I think, focus in the US really on Supercross and in motocross for the World Championship. So that's two different, we can see two different industries now on that side. And to me, I mean, it's like I say, the GP become way more professional. You can see the structure with the big van, I mean, the big semi-truck and double semi-truck and everything. Yeah. So is coming like MotoGP, and it's limited. It's limited as far as people there and riders there. So it's a different perspective, and like I said, high level come with high prices. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I got Simon White here. He's put, Haley, can Zeb explain the Dino nickname? and also, I've watched him be the fastest in the world and beat the cream of the crop. I think he means there. Zolder MXGP with Everts back on the factory KTM, lapped up to 4th. Portugal unfortunately dislocated your hip, but the pace was unbelievable.
So Dino came from actually that was with my trainer Jackie Vimon at the time, and we come back to the year I was riding the 125 GP the first year because I bent so many bars. I did more than just bend bars. I mean, I break some foot pegs, tear completely off the frame, and many things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, many things. So that's where the nickname came from. Dinosaur. That was the time of Jurassic Park, I guess. Also, that came from that. So that's where I got the nickname. Okay. And then after, where was the next question? I don't remember. That was looking at what the.
Sorry, it was about Zolder, about being the fastest in the world with Everts when he was back on the factory KTM. You lapped up to 4th. And obviously,
actually, lap to 4th was amazing, but I think we did better than that. I think with Stefan, I think 98, we lap up to third. No, we didn't lap third. Third was Pete Barr, and we didn't lap him. That was in I think a race in Poland or somewhere, like a sandy track. And I remember that there was Stefan was super fast that day, and it was like a pretty hectic race. And I remember on that moto was Stefan got the hot shot, and then Pete Barr was second, and I was third. And the start was doing a 180 and then coming back with a piff path, like a right left, and then a left hander. And I came on the inside. I think it was Pete, and I was pretty aggressive. That was like, normally I was not as aggressive, but that one I was really aggressive because I had already a pretty hard race with Stefan, and if I let him go, it was going to be difficult. So I came in, and then I was really aggressive, to the point that I came, and my English was so at the time. It was not as good as today. And I came after the race, and to Pete, I said, "Pete, sorry, I was in a hurry." Like, sorry. But, that was, I was like, so sorry. I felt sorry. And then I was like, I knew I didn't have the time. And I had to rush it, and then I had a big battle with Stefan Olmodo. We pass, and then we lap up to fourth for sure. And on the last, I think last lap, and I had a last trying to pass Stefan. It was just like a downhill with bumps, with a 90 at the bottom, and then a little straightaway in the finish line. And I'm like, if I want to finish in front of Stefan, it's now or never. And I passed Stefan. I jumped far down the downhill, but the only problem is I landed onto the braking bumps. And my frame touched, and I went straight over the bars and crashed my brain out. And so Stefan won the moto, and I still, got up and finished second. We had the far lead. And Stefan, I remember that after that race, Stefan wiped up the number one from number plate at that race. And that was, I think, Gdansk or something like that in Poland. And I think that was one of the turn into the racing that season, that I was like, that's the way it's going to be. That's the way it's going to be. And that was extra motivation. That I already was very motivated, but that was extra motivation that I didn't need.
Yeah. There was a couple of things I wanted to tell you about. One was, obviously, I got so many messages, people laughing, saying, "How cool is Zeb? He's such a cool guy." But that story about the bars was absolutely brilliant, about the 50 pairs of bars. Yeah, and there was also the Jimmy Button thing as well. Even Jimmy Button come up on Instagram, reposted a picture of that I put up of you about your interview.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. I said, said you'll have to listen because it was brilliant about the story.
No, but I think I'm pretty sure every racer, when you get a chance to sit down and then they look back at their career, they have quite a bit some event to happen. Obviously, my career was long. It could have been longer, but I stopped sooner. But I started when I was 6 years old, and I become pro when I was like 15, and then I retired when I was 26. So that gives you some years of experience and things like that happens. And I think you see it a lot in the talk show that when you have the time and you spend the time with it, every guy has his own story and his own funny part, and it's amazing. Everybody has a different path, and they, it's a great path, and they always have funny stories. I remember sitting down with RC, after when we retired and talking, and then, "Hey, remember that race where you did this? Remember that?" And I remember, we were sitting down one time, and that was a Suzuki test day. I think it was one of the first one we did just before the outdoor season, and we were both riding 2-stroke, I think, at the time. And basically, that was before Daytona, that time of the year. And we were just getting the parts sorted out for the season, so Japan could get the time to build them and get them to us before the season started. And we were at his track, his home track, and let's go. We started for testing, but the testing finished into a lap time fight, basically, with RC.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
one will go out and beat the other guy lap time, and then the next one will go out and beat the other guy lap time, and that was on for the whole day. The whole
Wow.
day. I mean, that was like, yeah, that was like we were going really fast, really, really fast, and then RC came. He was told the end of the test day, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm tired. I did what I was supposed to do. Went through the parts and figure it out, and I'm good. I'm going to call it a day. Obviously, he just got the best lap time, and so
Yeah.
then he walk away, goes to the farm, and then I was still a couple of things I need to try, and then I go out and I beat his lap time basically. So I finished with the best lap time of the day. And Jenny, his mom, who was also helping him and coaching him, that as she did, she's helping other guys also. And she's like, RC was off, knee braces off. And he's like, you cannot let Tortelli finish faster than you on your own track. So RC had to get up, put back the gear on, and then just go out. And then at the end of the day, he got my lap time. So he got the best out of me. But, that was pretty funny. He called it off, and then his mom like, no, no way, you got to go back out. So that was, that was testing days with between RC when we were together. That was pretty epic. We were pushing.
Yeah. Sure. That's how competitive you guys were.
Yeah. Fun times.
That's a very cool story. Thanks for telling us that one. That's cool. I got for sure. Is it coming up? Got Zeb Bartlett here working with Carl Osterman. Freddie says hi.
Okay, good. Still working with Carl. We're just I was with him 2 weeks ago, and then obviously the European Championship got cancelled for end of March. So no European Supercross Championship. So he's getting his last year he broke his collarbone, so he's getting his plate out of his shoulder and taking a break before I think the French hopefully the French Supercross Championship will start this summer and with a couple outdoor races. So we're working toward that, and Carl made some huge progress the last 2 years. He was 15, now he's going on to 17, so he got way stronger, way taller, so things are shaping up pretty good. So I'm really excited for Carl new season to start for Supercross, and see him how well he can do in European Championship we spent for this winter, or even the French Championship hopefully will take place. So that's a good. I think 2021 will be a good season for him.
Ben also put. I think he took a few corners at Fox Hill like Speedway.
Yeah, the track did. We don't see tracks anymore like Fox Hill or tracks like this. Today's the tracks are all prepped, all well watered, and they bring sand in when it's too hard and to make it a little bit softer. So we got some good ruts. So closer to the US type of tracks. So definitely Speedway is a little bit tough these days. You need to have a little bit more hard pack and slippery ground. So that's another evolution of the sport. Back in the days, the track were way different. You could go to a hard pack track, where it would be blue grooves. And then next weekend you could be in sand, and then the next weekend you could be in dirt, very soft. And so that was a very big difference in the tracks. Today you go to the track, they're all super nice prepped. It's awesome for the riders. You get the best conditions, you get the best ruts, and so that's a different way, but that's an evolution.
I will give this man Wes a shout out. He is asking a question we've already asked, but he does an amazing Facebook group as well. He's put Wes Carlisle's put, hey Zeb, massive fan. You're my all-time favorite rider.
Thank you.
He does the 90s Super Evo Motocross Facebook group. I've also in there as well. There's a lot of guys in there. That's another cool one as well.
Oh, pretty cool.
So good. Yeah, good job with that, Wes.
Suzuki there. Who was number 2 on that bike? Looked like a KG of Kurt Nichol at the time, something like that.
Kurt Nichol, yeah.
Yeah, looks like it.
Probably at Farley or something, I would imagine, maybe.
But I like his shirt. It's a good shirt.
Yes, Fox. Good spot. I got Phil Thompson. He put, I met Zeb in 2018 at the Belfast Arena Cross. Lovely fella.
Yeah. Loved Belfast was a thing. That's when I think Carl was riding out there for his first year in 85 Supercross. Carl Osterman, we did quite a bit of the Arena Cross, and I think Belfast is where the Titanic was built also. So that's where they had the Titanic Museum out there.
Yeah, very cool. I got Larry Kessel. Hi Zeb, do you train riders nowadays? You've sort of touched on it last time a little bit.
Yeah, I got a few guys that I train. Actually, a group of guys that I keep training, and then we go different places. We go to Italy, France, and Germany, or even Belgium and Spain. So all these areas, this year we didn't get to go to. Normally we go quite a bit in the winter to Sardinia because it's great for training. I mean, you can see a lot of GP guys out there right now training in Sardinia because you get the chance of having the best weather and then the different kind of tracks. You can go from sand, you can go to a little bit softer and then a little bit hard pack. So there's a good setup out there that the GP guys do in the winter. And it's perfect when you can go for a couple of weeks to train and get ready for the season. And that's I think most of the guys they flee from Belgium at some point at this time of the year because you don't want to get to the frozen tracks or something like that. So or they go to Spain or they go to Sardinia, which is two great spots to train.
I got Andy Kirkham has put, will Zeb ever return to the US? I heard he has citizenship. Get that word out.
Yes, I have a dual citizenships. Yeah, I have two passports, American and French. So definitely, I still will go there, but my family is in Europe, so most likely mainly in Europe. That's for sure. And it depends where the kids grow up. I mean, they are finishing their studies, so. Depending what life bring them, they both are bilingual, French and English, so they are pretty good with there. And then they got some Spanish, obviously, also into it. So I don't know. They were raised pretty international. Lived in the US for their youth, and then after we came back to Europe, so they got also the European flair, which is something I think was important for them to have a full idea of what's going on also in Europe. So now they got both education in them, and I think that's good. I mean, they speak English. They are born in the US, so obviously they are fluent. English is their first language, and they love the US. So they might go back in the future to the US, and that's probably could be one of the reasons why I would go back.
Nice. I got Mick Nurse. He's put, hiya guys. Zeb has always seemed like a nice guy of motocross. How was his mindset once the gate dropped?
A different guy.
Animal.
No, I think it's. I'm pretty laid back as far as a regular day guy. But I think my passion in the sport came from the racing side of it. I'm a very competitive guy, and that's. The sport was, I would say, when I was a younger kid, I had a choice to choose or motocross or judo. I was doing quite a bit of judo when I was younger, and I had a very high level also in judo. So at some point, I had to make the decision if I was going one way or the other. And basically the motocross was what I love to do. I love the competition in it. And that's what was motivating me every day. It was the competition, be able to race and to race to the highest level. And at the end of the day, I'm the beauty of the sport that I like also is it's 100% individual. What you do on the motorcycle, nobody is there to tell you what you do, and you have to be 100% at what you do, and the risk you take are your own. So that's what is very very important. Sorry, really nose. And it's not COVID. I'm good. But
Right from here anyway.
I'm too far.
Yeah,
But no, I think the dirt bike was a way for me to express and be able to compete. And I think before the dirt bike, I think I love the racing part of it more than anything. So when I had the helmet on, it was a full-on racing mode, and whatever was on my way couldn't stand on my way, and that's the way I was. But as a regular fellow, I think I'm pretty laid back, so that's pretty good on that side.
Yeah, it comes across very nice on the interviews as well. Really cool. I've got a couple of nice comments here. For one from YouTube, one of the fastest GP riders ever seen. Totally awesome. Another Davey War here has put absolute legend there. Someone remember the race and Zeb's race lines as if it was like yesterday. I think they were talking about the Fox Hill as well. Oh God, Pat's back.
See, it's back.
Okay, I'm back. If he could be teammates with any rider from any generation, who would they be? Let's say 3 guys, example, DaCosta, Ward, McGrath, or Hurlins. Stu Vinant.
Yeah, Stu and Viman. Teammate. Well, I was a teammate with RC, so that was one of it already done. I mean, Jackie, I got in my corner for many years, so that was like my teammate already. That's for sure. Erlins, McGrath, Ward, DaCosta, Jeremy. I mean, Jeremy he's a very cool guy, so definitely love to hang out with him. And Erlins, I think he's a good guy to be teammate with. I think he has he's really dedicated at what he does, and he has really a set goal in his head, and that's the type of guys that I like. I mean, definitely strong-minded. He's a fighter. I mean, definitely got few injuries that he shouldn't have, and missed the world championship because of it. But that's also, for me, that's also how you call it, a stamp of what kind of guy he is, because he's not backing down. So that's definitely cool guy, definitely.
Yeah, very cool guy. Robin Stanton's put on YouTube, have you ever watched Liam Everts ride? Could he be the 3rd generation champion? I hope so.
Yeah, definitely. I saw Liam ride quite a bit because I used to train a guy who was riding 125 with Liam. And that is going more enduro cross now, so it's not doing that. But the way he ride, definitely. I mean, it was sad that he got injured this year with his shoulder and wrist, but he is in a good path to be the 3rd generation, definitely, of world champion. And the riding style that he has, and the dedication he had to the sport, that what can I see from the outside, definitely look like 3rd generation, definitely. Now, will he beat his father as fight championship? That's a tough one to do.
Yeah, for sure. David White put, this man has some of the best stories ever. So interesting. I could listen all night. Very nice.
Cool. Thank you.
Saying that. I've got here Alex Chad put, Tortelli on the KX250 around Fox Hills with the Oxbow kit was unreal. Did he enjoy his rivalry with Everts? We all loved watching. For sure.
No, for sure. It was a tough year. I mean, he had some up and downs during that year, and then that was a complicated year also. But for sure, I loved that year. I mean, how can I say I didn't love it? I mean, and for me, luckily, I finished on top, so that was a good year. But for Stefan, not as good. But no, I mean, we already had with Stefan, we already had great fights, and that was good. I was looking forward to 2006 when we were together to redo it again, and he started pretty well on that side, but injury came toward me, so that's the way it was. But no, Stefan was a great racer, and the guy was very fast on the sand, that's for sure.
Yeah.
couldn't, on deep sand. I mean, it was. I thought I was fast, and but Stefan was faster. And then the field was. I remember. I think Mole, which was close to his hometown, and I mean, I thought I was good, and I was 2 or 3 seconds faster than the other guys. But Stefan was 2 or 3 or even 4 seconds faster than me. So that was hats off on that, and he make it look so easy. That was the sad part. It make it look so easy. That was not even. So and I still remember that first lap, first race, he got the whole shot. Obviously, he got. I remember talking with him, and that was. He told me, "Oh yeah, that's when I got the new Pirelli tire at the time, and that was the perfect tire, which is the one where we have now is scoop tires, but Stefan already had it at the time, and he came out on the first lap with 14-second lead. That was that hurts. That hurts.
Yeah. That hurts a bit. I got Graham Lightfoot, but I remember Georges Aubé getting into trouble for showing Zeb lines at Hawkstone International.
Yeah, definitely. That was Georges was a manager that year for KTM, and yep. There was when the FIM start to tied up the rules and get the people to pitboard different places and not be able to go on the track as it used to be back in the days. Yeah, that was good memories. Austin Park was a tough race, especially in the winter, first one of the year, and most of the time rainy and cold. So that was a tough one, I think. And I think I came back from the US because I was living in the US at the time. And that was before my last season, my 2006 season. And then I came from California, and I came to the freezing cold. That was a tough race for me. I think that was one of the toughest ones. I realized, because living in California, I forgot how cold it was in Europe. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But you get quickly reminded of it.
Yeah, definitely. I put Robin Stanton put the pajamas were the best. Ask Steve Lampson.
Yeah, for sure. Yep, he remembers.
Yeah, he remembers. Andy Stephen put, with DV mentoring Ferrandez, has Zeb thought his knowledge would help French up-and-coming youth rider and be successful as De Groot his mentor, obviously.
I mean, we saw that DV did already great with Ferrandis. I mean, the two championships they had together in the light was very good. And I mean, Ferrandis is riding a Yamaha, which is the bike that Dave liked the best. So that's his. He bleeds blue, so that's him. So that's perfect. I mean, I think it's a great. I think the two guys are well together. I mean, they are both from the south of France, and they're from the same region. They find themselves in the US. And I think it's a good combo. I think these two guys are a good match, and in the future they would do great things together still. And I was doing a podcast with Michael Pichon before the first Supercross opening, and we were talking about the opener and then who will do great. And for me, it's I think Ferrandis can be fast, but he has the first year in 450, which is always a dangerous one. And as far as he was coming back from an injury also that he had, so little time on the bike, and so he will be stronger as the season go on, and I'm sure David will be there to help him on that side and teach him how to be patient to get the prize that he wants to get at the end of the day.
Yeah. I got Wayne Davis on YouTube. He put, "How was your relationship with Stefan?" I'm presuming he means during your rivalry.
Always a great relationship with Stefan. A lot of respect for him all the time, and we had both of us had a lot of respect for each other. So that was. For me, I had a great relationship with Stefan. I mean, we're not best friends, obviously, but because when you're adversary, you cannot be best friends.
Yeah.
But no, we always talked and say hi, and that was really good. And today I see him still at the GPs when Liam was riding, and we got some good chat, and it's going good. It's rivalry was from the past, that's for sure.
I got Andy Obbs is in from the UK. He has a lot of the speedway riders stay with him in the UK, and he's put, do you know David Balago, the French #1 speedway rider? Does Zeb know of him?
Nope, sorry. No, I don't know the speedway part. Sorry, I'm not. Like I say, I love dirt bikes and bikes, but I don't have much knowledge of the past and in the sport, because I came in. None of my family was motocross or motorcycle enthusiasts, so I was the first one on it, and so I don't know any of the past things, that's for sure. I just know the racing part.
Okay, I got Michael here. Yeah. And Michael put, I can't watch this now live. I've got to save it for work tomorrow. Please keep it going as long as possible, guys. Makes my day go so much faster. And Zeb, I think, is my favorite one yet. Very nice.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Very nice, Michael.
I guess
Very
he's
nice.
been following he's been following your podcast. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Where's Carlisle off the 90s Super Evo?
He's back. Like he should again.
He's back. He's going to have another go now. His question was already asked before. He's put, Zeb, you said you still have your JHK Kawasaki 125 and 250. Any chance of bringing them to the Vets MX the Nations? Here it goes again. Look.
Yes. As far as my plans, no, I'm still pretty busy with my guys. So maybe when I get a little bit older and I get some gray hair, then maybe I'll come and ride around out there. But I know some of the guys were racing there. Some of the US guys in the past, and they came pretty ready with their bike and new setup and new suspension. So it's a time, but like I say, when I was racing, and I always promise one thing to myself was, when you decide to retire, you have to make sure that's your final decision, because you don't have the choice to coming back. And so when in 2006 I was like, sorry, I need to blow my nose. When I decided to stop, it was definitely well thought decision, and I was like, okay, it's time for me. I felt like it was the time, so not going back was definitely what I decided, and so going back to racing is not something that I want to do, or enter a race even, because if I enter a race, I'm still very competitive, and I think the emotional side will take place again. And I'm not in shape as much as I used to be, and that's a problem. I mean, when you ride, you need to be able to ride to your level, and I don't want to go over my level. So when I ride, it's just for fun, for sure.
Okay, I'm just going to show a quick video in a minute. So if you wanted to play,
I would appreciate it. We get the charger also. See you later.
Yes. All right. Thanks, Zeb. Because basically this is a bike competition, Zeb. Yeah, no problem. So I'm going to drop this now, guys, while Zeb sorts his nose out. So basically, this is the new bike competition. Perfect timing. So I'm just going to drop the bike competition now while Zeb sorts himself out for a second. Here we go. Here's the new bike competition starting after I do the live draw for the Splitfire Kawasaki tomorrow night. So this will be the new bike competition. Here we go.
I don't think he has the right tires on the bike.
There's always going to be some that's not going right.
They don't look like Dunlops out there.
Sometimes the wheel's black.
Yeah, the wheels were black also. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, yeah.
But that's you don't see much Kawasaki.
No.
I mean, new bikes like this refurbished and as nice as he did. That's for sure.
It looks very nice, and obviously it's a JHK, and the guy did it on you as well, so it's an unbelievable bike for the bike competition. So I think that's going to go down quite cool for sure.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. That's for sure.
Very nice, very nice. Kevin Wheeler's put, what a class act. They don't make motocross riders like Zeb anymore.
I appreciate it.
Everyone's putting some nice comments. What a nice guy. Let's go. Rob Matheson here has put, which GP or AMA rider was Zeb's toughest competitor to pass and make the pass stick?
What and stick? That's. I mean, when we talk about speed, definitely RC was the toughest one because he was fast and tough to pass. Definitely, you don't pass him. To be able to pass him, you have to be really fast. That's for sure. I remember one guy in the US riding Supercross with. He was not the fastest, but he was the toughest one. I felt like his bars were like as wide as a semi truck, and you could never pass him. His name was Heath Voss. He was coming from Canada.
Yeah, I remember him.
That guy was. Yeah. He was a tough one to pass, really tough one. The guy was strong as a bull, and then you couldn't move him. And he was a tough one to pass, that's for sure. And that reminded me of Mike LaRocco also. These two, I think, were the toughest one in Supercross to get by, for sure.
That's interesting. I got Mr. Jeff Perrott here as well. He's well known. He used to ride GPs as well. He put, when Stefan came round to lap me at Mole, he jumped off the bumps I couldn't even see in the deep sand.
No, definitely Mole was. I think you don't race anymore at Mole, but that's a really difficult sand track. I could race Lommel, no problem. I could be fast there. I could Valkenswaard also. It was hard sand, and I had no problem with speed out there. And then I was able to win GP there. But when you came to Mole, it was a different beast, on completely different. I mean, it was that yellow beach sand with uphill and downhill, and it was definitely, to the highest level. I mean, I raced quite a bit some sand track, but that one was definitely the one that I didn't see anything. That was a tough day, and I think all the guys in the class we were all in that level, and then you had Stefan who was just above us, and the only thing is he was making it look so easy, effortless. But that's Stefan riding style, and you couldn't feel, you couldn't let yourself, when you watched him, you couldn't, make it think he was easy, because that he was tough, but he was like, surfing on top of the bumps and never touching them.
Yeah, sure. Good job, Jeff Perrott. He does a Dirt Hub in the UK, really cool, with Paul Alton. They do a great job, so that's interesting. Thanks for coming on, Jeff. Ben Rumbold, he's put one last one from the crossword boy. He does crosswords, motocross crosswords. Does Zeb remember the Belgium GP in Nimes, where he and Paul Malin had a massive battle? Zeb won, but later got disqualified for fuel. Did he get to keep the trophy? I don't know if you remember that. Or...
Yeah, definitely. I remember that track because Nîmes was a track was difficult. He had like I think it was a triple downhill, and I remember that that was like not everybody was doing it. We were just few guys doing it. Paul was doing it also, and I was battling with Paul, and I remember that race because we almost jumped on each other. And I remember feeling his frame over my shoulder or something like that at that race. So that was pretty epic race. And definitely I got disqualified that race for fuel. Paul got disqualified also for fuel that day. I think we both did. And the funny thing was the disqualification was not. I think they had a range of octanes that you had to run, and so we had to run some pump gas or something at the time.
Yeah.
And Jan de Groot was so scared to be disqualified and lose the championship that he bought pump gas, but we got disqualified because he bought too low of a grade of a pump gas, and we were not in the range of
Wow.
the octanes. So most people get disqualified for being above the range. I got disqualified because my bike, the fuel we were using, was under the octane allowed.
Oh my God, that's
They
ridiculous.
had like a certain gap, and then we were just below it.
That's
So
crazy.
I got disqualified for that, and but yeah, well, nobody came and never asked me for the trophy. So that's he's at the house. Sorry.
I love that. I love that. Jeff Perrott as well, the ex-GP guy from UK. He's put, sorry if it's already been asked, but it didn't actually. What did the American riders react like when you slaughtered them in the muddy Supercross? Can't remember where. We obviously know it's the LA Coliseum. What did they actually? What was the take in America on that, Zeb? What was the riders' take to it? Obviously, you said you were surprised.
No, I mean I didn't. Didn't get any comment or anything on it, so that was okay. I mean, it was. I don't know if we talked about it last on the last last podcast we talked about.
I don't think we did. No.
But I never knew I won the race because I mean it's a long story. The weekend before, they had like Open International Supercross, they call it, and it was Godbreaker who was the guy who was organizing GFI. The name was the series in California, and he would go to Paris Supercross, which still exists today, and he will build like a massive outdoor Supercross, and basically pros will come because the winner of the race will get a $5,000 in cash. So a lot of the guys will go there as a pre-opening, and he was Jeff Emig was two-time champion that year. He got the championship just before. He got the championship in Supercross and he got the championship in outdoor. So he was the king coming out of the season. And obviously that was the first race that he was going back to, and that was next to his hometown. And I remember Goat Breaker decided to make the race 20 lap, but a 10 lapper with a break and then a 10 lapper. So basically, you started the second 10 lapper in the order you arrive from the first 10 lapper.
Okay.
And that was my first race in 250 in the US. And I think Jeff started in the lead. He got the all shot and pull away. And then I was to the pack and I came back second, but I had a little bit of distance with him. And then the 10 lap stopped. So I was able to catch up the differences and start behind Jeff. And then the 10 last lap, I battled with Jeff, and then I finally passed him and pull away a little bit. And on the last lap, I still remember the guys, there was a big tabletop, and they will just, there was American guys, obviously, fans of Jeff Emig, and they will show me their white butt. They will drop their pants. And every time I came around, they show
your
me
ass is out, were they?
yeah, the ass out completely. So anyway, I won the race, and that was like the weekend just before the AMA Supercross. So I was semi factory because of Japan in Kawasaki. They put me in the factory semi truck, so I was able to do the Thursday. I think at the time they were doing press day, and the truck was already built. So we got with all the factory guys, we're able to go on the track and do all the track, actually, the whoops, the triples, the peristyle, everything. We did every jump. And then that day on Friday was supposed to be practice, but practice got canceled because of the rain. And then that was it. So, but for me, I knew already how to make all the jumps because we had the day before. So for me, that was a huge advantage because I was still new to the Supercross in the US stadiums. So anyway, the race, got no Friday practice, got canceled. They put the how you call that? They cover the track up completely and to keep it as decent as possible. And come the race, and then the first race I was not riding too good, and I didn't qualify straight to the main, and I had to go to the semi qualifier. And then what happened in the semi qualifier was a very good luck for me, because they were able to clean the track up some more, and we were able to start doing more jumps. And I was able to do the peristyle down the hill. I was able to do the double at the bottom, and then I was able to do the triples and few jump who helped me to click in. And so that was good for me, which the guys who qualified, like the full-on factory guys, Jeremy, McGrath, and all the guys who were on the front, they didn't do the jumps because it was too muddy at that time still. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I got that. So that was good for me. And then we came to the starting gate, and my mechanic was late. So I got bumped from, being, I don't know, 10 or 12 on the gate. I got bumped to last. So I was dead last. And Ezra Lusk had a bike issue also at that time with the factory Honda. So he was even after me. So we were both, Ezra and me were the last two on the gate. Obviously, the start gate was so bad on the full outside, full of mud, where the inside was clean. So we started dead last, both of us. And, as the race went on, what happened is, well, I was doing most of the jumps that the guys were not doing. So I was passing 1, 2, 3 guys a lap just because I was doing the jumps, and I was going through the pack pretty quick. And Ezra was following me also until he crashed on the triple, and he was out of the race. But I went through, and, I was catching and coming back. And at some point, I knew I was like third or fourth. My mechanic people me. Craig Monty, who was actually DV mechanic forever after when he was at Yamaha. That was his mechanic, but he was first my mechanic at Kawi. And so we went through the race, and I was like, third. And then I knew the conditions were tough and muddy. So I'm like, oh, Michael should be, Michael Pichon, who is a great mud rider. Should be one of the first guys out there. I mean, that's typical for him. He's a great Supercross rider. He's mud, so it's perfect for him. And then when I go to the pack, I never see Michael Pichon. So I'm like, okay, he's always there, And I come and I'm second, and I see Doug Henry in front of me. And for me, my mechanic at the time said it was like 2 laps to go, something, you can do it, or, whatever, something to push me to try to get him. Mm-hmm. So I get Doug Henry just before the white flag. So I pass him, and it's white flag. So my last lap, that's the first lap I'm leading, but I'm thinking I'm not leading because I didn't see Michael Pichon, and for me, he was the perfect guy to win the race. So I'm like, I'm second, and I'm like, that's awesome. And I come to the mechanic area, and my mechanic goes 2 for 2. So, and I'm like, my English was bad, and I understood. Second race, second. For me, 2 for 2 meant second race, second. But actually, it met. Second race, which was the second race I was doing. I won the first one in Paris, and I won now the Coliseum. But I didn't know. So 2 for 2, yeah. I go, 2 for 2, but my English was... yeah. So I come, and I'm like, oh, cool, I'm second. That's pretty, I'm stoked. I was not expecting to do that good. And I come and I pass the finish line. And then I'm like, oh, cool. And then they say, oh, yeah, you need to go to the top of the peristyle. And then, so I go to the top of the peristyle, and I see Davey Coombs from Racer X. He was actually doing some of the commentating on site. And he says, hey, Seb, congratulations. It's amazing. I love when your guys come over, and it's awesome. And I'm like, yeah, I'm so happy. I mean, second is amazing. He says, what? No, you're not second. You're first. I'm like, oh, well, but where is Michael? Oh, no. He crashed on the side of the whoops. I say, oh, I didn't see him. So for me, it was like, I got onto the podium. And I didn't even know until I got to the podium that I won the race. Awesome. And at the end, the funny story was, he was David Bailey was doing commentating at the time with what was his name? Dale, a guy who had a very low voice doing the
Yeah, I know what
Supercross
you're talking
racing at
about.
the time.
Yeah.
And
Someone's going to come
they
at me in a
had,
minute.
yeah, I don't remember the name, Dale
Mm.
something. And they had to fly that night. They had to fly back to Atlanta to go over the footage because basically they never saw me coming for the win. So basically they had to edit all the race, put back some tape where you could see me and add my name. Yeah, exactly. That's the name.
There you go. Ekman,
That's
that's
the
it.
name.
I loved his voice, loved it.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
loved it. Deep, really good.
Loved it, man.
And
Yeah.
basically, they both had to fly to Atlanta to the studio to record a new commentating of the race because they didn't had me on the race going back to the ranks and winning the race
Wow.
because even them didn't know, and that was like speed vision or something. So that was like the race was pretty epic on every angle.
Yeah, very. Yeah.
That
I
was
need to get. It's going to make me want to go. I'm going to go and watch it after this.
yeah, it was like
That's
if you pay attention, if you find a video of it on YouTube or whatever, you're gonna see when they talk about me, you can pay attention. It's not in the regular flow of the event. You can see that it's
yeah, yeah,
added.
yeah. They're doing that like they didn't even know who that guy was. It's
Yeah,
mental.
it's like yeah, they had to add the name.
That's
So that's
brilliant. Right, I've got someone on YouTube here in Motions Fabrications. He's talking about earnings here. He's put watching Hurlings. He's quoted at 4.5 million euros for 2018 title, including bonuses. What was Sensor earnings for his title and comparing USA salaries over the years, different brands and all? Always interesting.
what was the sensor? You mean as far as if he was equal or not?
Yeah, I presume that's what he's meaning. Was there like, yeah.
I think we got the top guys in the US a little bit higher than this. I think their manufacturer money is higher than that already without adding the extra sponsors. So it's I think the US is a little bit above the European as far as money wise goes for sure. But the guys do. I mean, you have to look at different. They get more people who come to the races most of the time.
Yeah, big stadiums.
With the stadium, a stadium gets 60,000, 50 to 60,000 people, so it's also a big deal on that side. They got a little bit more races than in Europe. I mean, Europe got 20 races now, which is a way longer series than before. But the US used to have 2 series where you had even more races. I think you used to have 18 and 12, so that's even more there for sure. So there's still, I think, the money-wise, I think the US is still is a little bit above Europe as far as salaries and things goes on. And they even, bonuses, I think, are a little bit higher in the US.
Interesting. Did you actually enjoy Supercross? Did you prefer Motocross over the Supercross, Seb? What was your preference in general?
I would say at the beginning, I enjoy really the more motocross, and it took me a little bit more time to get used to Supercross. So when I came into Supercross until the last 4 years, then that's when I start to enjoy quite a bit Supercross. But it took me at least another 4 years to get comfortable enough where I really was enjoying Supercross as much as outdoors. Obviously, I had a little bit more favor on outdoors because I was my results were a little bit better out there. So obviously, I like better outdoors for that reason. And but Supercross came quite a bit along, and then came more easy, and that was something that I really enjoy at the end. But it's Supercross still is a really you can compare it as a sprint and a track runner and then a long more endurance runner where I think Supercross is really intensive and you have to be out there and then quick and it's really repetitive. The tracks are now always clean, so it's always almost the same line. And then with the 4-stroke, there's a lot more advantage on using the outside and the momentum and everything. The bikes are capable of doing, sorry, more jumps. So that's one thing. Where motocross, you always have to be creative. So I feel like motocross is really the base to learn as far as technique and vision, because you always have to be creative and develop your technique. And then after, when you come to Supercross, you can really push on the intensive side of it. So I think the base is motocross for sure. And Supercross takes quite a bit, some different skills, different material. The setup of the bike is way different. You have to be way more precise, but it's the same thing. The precision came with the time you spend on the track. I think when you ride motocross, it's always developing in front of you. You have to choose different lines. You have to make a different decision and use all your knowledge to be able to be better. And when you go to Supercross, it's the repetition makes a lot of riders ride faster. So normally you can see that there's a lot of more riders who are capable to ride fast in Supercross because it's repetition. And when you go and you ride outdoors, there's a little bit of deeper gap between the riders because it's technical wise, and you have the evolution, and so it's a little bit different in the way. Not saying that Supercross is easier. Supercross is tough because when you do a mistake, you got a big opportunity to get injured. So it's two different sports. You can look at it as two different sports.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, you're motocross the nations for France. Were you very proud to obviously represent France? And obviously, the memories of the atmospheres. Did you really enjoy that at the end of each season?
Yeah, for sure. End of every season, I was always looking forward to do Motocross the Nation. That was one of the races that I really enjoyed because you get a chance to ride with your friends. Basically, most of the guys you ride with are people you normally compete against from your country, but now you're like a team of three. So that's pretty amazing that you got you that week you're with the guys and you hang out together. So it's way nice to be with them, and the chance to represent your countries for me was always was nice. I mean, that's the only chance you got to represent your country and defend it with your team. So for sure, I was always looking forward and excited to do Motocross Nation and go to the Motocross Nation. Even today, if I get a chance to, you say you can go to only one race, I would pick Motocross Nations. Now in the calendars, it's become way more difficult, especially with the longer season and the fact that COVID pushed everything back. So it's last year we didn't get Motocross Nations. I don't know if this year we're going to get it. But it's a tough. When it's at the end of the season, it's a little bit easier for everybody to manage. In the US, is normally just in between the transition from motocross to supercross. So sometimes the teams are not very excited about going to Motocross Nation for that reason, and the riders either, because they are preparing their big part of the year, which is the Supercross. And you come at the end of motocross for the European, it's a little bit easier. But if you get Motocross Nation in between, the manufacturers are always scared that somebody get injured and not be able to finish the championship either. So it's becoming a tricky situation, I think, for this year, last year, and this coming year for sure.
Was there any riders during your career that you didn't actually like racing with, that you didn't enjoy racing with, that you always seem to come together with, or is any guys like that during your career?
No, I didn't. No, I never had any hard feeling or anything. But it's for me, it was pretty simple. I mean, I took things pretty simple, which was, what happened on the track stays on the track. So if you got an argument with a guy, not an argument, but a little bit, roughing around with a guy, I mean, you got to solve it on the track also. And if you want to, if you have a situation, it's you got to handle it on the track because that's where the situation started. So that's where you need to finish it also. Best way is to finish on top, obviously, but but most of the time, if it's not out of the track that you handle the situation because the situation started, on the track. So I think yeah, you got the a little bit rough, but I would say I never got into bad situation like that. I was pretty aggressive, but I tried to stay clean. So most of the time, except some rookie mistake that I made, I was most of the time pretty clean. So that's rough him up, but stay fair. That in the end of the day, you're not there to clean up the guy. I mean, you can pass him rough and push him around, but that's where it stops.
I got an interesting one here. Someone's put, after signing for the various teams over the years, did you ever think partway into the season, that's right, partway into the season, was there ever a team that partway through the season that wasn't working out the way it was promised to you? And how did it affect team morale?
No, actually, I never had any situation like that. That's, I think, maybe you have situation like that when you're not into a factory team.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough to be on the factory team most of my career, so I didn't have the problem, these kind of issues. I would say, and actually, most all my teams I've been into, I always had a great relationship with them. Never came up to my mind even to leave a team. Definitely not during the middle of the season, because it's not I mean, you're in the middle of season. You prepare yourself for the with that bike for the championship, or for the for this season, and there's a lot of hours on the back. So if you decide to change team in the middle of the way or part ways, then you have to start from scratch, and then you're maybe losing time to be able to perform. But no, I never got anything close to that in any of the team I ever been to.
Have you obviously you've clearly probably seen obviously all the tracks that have been closing and stuff, and obviously Mark Rowe has mentioned about obviously the Belgium and the Honda Park going this week. Do you think riders will look to the USA rather than Europe? Maybe sand will be swapped for a different terrain in the GPs in the not too distant future.
Are you saying that this Honda Park is closing for good?
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
Oh wow! Okay, I was not aware. I'm not a big I don't spend my life on on the social media. So that's for sure. Yeah, that's I mean, that's sad. I mean, where I see is definitely riding dirt bikes is becoming harder and harder. We are not yet to the point where we have a technology with electric bike that reflect the feeling that you have on motocross bikes. So I think to be able to reopen tracks like that, I think the electric bikes will be the way to be able to ride close to the cities and be able to get there. But the question is how long it's going to take to have a electric bike. I've tried many electric bikes. Just got the chance to do it, and yeah, just I tried many of them, and so far they all felt like more a big mountain bike, not a dirt bike. So I think the latest, the closest was the Alta, but that came, that went bust. So, but that was the closest thing to a motocross bike. And I think the technology are evolving quite a bit. Well, in the future, we're going to see something coming out. It's technologies is all that what it needs. The battery, I think, is the main issue. So we'll see how that goes. But the progress, and you can see that the technology is going so fast these days. So I'm sure we're going to see electric bikes coming up pretty soon. But that's not yet.
I'll only ask you a couple more, Zeb. I really appreciate your time. I'll just ask you a couple of more, and then we'll let you go. I really appreciate it. Who do you actually enjoy watching now, Zeb? Who excites you if you watch a race in Supercross or Motocross? Who sort of excites you watching them race now?
I would say in Supercross, I'm still a big fan of Kenny. So I'm pretty happy about his season. Not just for the rider, but for all that he went through. I mean, that's definitely a warrior out there that you have on the track. I mean, the guy came from almost losing his arm and had few injuries and sickness, and he went through the ranks and he still is riding amazing this year. I mean, that's definitely one of his best Supercross year. So I'm really excited for him on that side. That's really cool. So I really enjoy watching the Supercross these days. So I watch Saturday, the next one in Orlando. But as far as riders, when I was riding, I really liked a lot the watching Ezra Lusk riding. He had a great flow, a very he was very technical and he was able to ride a lot on the front end of the bike and always flew in the air with nose down, and it was really typical for him, that technique. So that was I was really enjoying watching him. And after when I retire, it was also good to watch Baba Stewart, because the guy will come with something out of a hat that you were not expecting. The guy was so good that he was able to keep something for the main event that he never did the whole weekend, never did it. And then first lap of the main event, he would pop a triple or a quad or something that you wouldn't even think of. And he was pretty amazing on his riding style and riding technique. That's for sure. So Supercross wise, that was the guys, and then motocross guys. I enjoyed I respect a lot for Antonio Caroli for his career. I mean, he's been there for a long time, fighting and going. Still out there, and it's amazing. I would have never thought somebody could last that long, but to last that long, you need to really love it, and that's what keep him up. But that's one thing, and then. I like the way Prado his riding style is pretty cool. I mean, very clean. You feel like
precise,
yeah, so smooth and efficient at the same time. So these are good. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, you look at a Gauger, Tim Gauger is a fighter. I mean, the guy will never give up. You can see him crash and back up and pushing, and it's. Mind blowing sometimes. You look at it, and then he's well rewarded with the championship that he's getting. So that's I'm very happy for him on that side. But it's the guy is pushing out there, and then up and down, hard day, good days. He's always there. So that's amazing. And Erlins, I'm very. I mean, the guy is so fast when he's on, and he's his own. He's the problem is himself. Sometimes I don't know. He make you look so easy sometimes, and then the next thing is injured. So it's. I mean, these guys. When I see them ride, I know what it is to race to that level, and to see them racing to that level weekends out. They're all good riders, and they all have their own, really their own characteristics. And that's what it is. You can see some, and I mean, you can just be looking at them, and I enjoy always watching the GPs when I'm out there, because it's everybody has his own style, and they're able to go so fast. It's pretty cool. And you can see that the level is high, because when you see where the people starts now on the races, and it's pretty hard for them to pass each other. Top three most of the time it's where they started, that's where they stay, or there's a little bit of changing, but not much. It's very tight. So all these show you that they are really high high level. And then if you look at top 15, there may be a second or two off. I mean, it's not that much.
Fine line,
It's
isn't it?
it's nothing. You know, a second or two on a motocross track is it's a lot, but it's nothing at the same time. And you know, you look at the Supercross now,
Yes.
you can see there are tenths or not even a half of a tenths.
Madness.
So all these guys are going very fast, and for me, I enjoy just watching them because I know how hard they work, and they are doing, you know, things that are amazing.
When I did do an interview with Joel Smets. It was very cool, and he sort of mentioned about hurling, saying that he didn't like that sometimes he didn't follow the structure or the program. But he obviously does something right. He's obviously got the talent.
I'm
he likes to do
sure.
his own thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, it's you're not a champion if you're a champion is a champion. He has, you know, he has his own way of doing things sometimes, and he has, you know, he believes his own things, and that's the champion. That's the way it is. He's different from the other guy.
Mindset,
you know, it's he doesn't think the same way as the other guys, and that's the mark of a champion. That's for sure. And yeah, I understand, but you know, he's. What can you say? He's a great rider, and he find the way to make it happen. Get championship, not as many as he could, but he's getting championship.
I'll ask you one more question. If you had to give advice to any youngster that wanted to go from youth motocross to professional, what would your advice be?
I think you need to start winning youth first to be able to go to the highest level. That's for sure. And there's two things. I think you always need to have fun, meaning that you always need to enjoy riding your bike. And the time where it become a job or an obligation, or you're not doing it for yourself, that's when things will go wrong, and that's when most likely you will not make it. That's number one rules. If you do it, you have to do it for yourself, and you need to enjoy it. That's definitely number one. And most likely is you need to have you need to have your own reason why you're doing it also. If it's to love the sport, if it's winning, if it is, you know, everybody has different reason to be able to do it. But the true champion always has a reason that he has on the bottom of his heart, and that's what makes him capable of making happen. Because it's not like everybody. And after that is, you know, don't be stupid and make the right decision. If you're an athlete, you're an athlete all the way. And then, you know, sometimes when you're youth, you get sidetracked, and that's when things also get sideways and not too good. So we come back to the same. At the end of the day, you need to know why you're doing it, and if you really want to do it. That's I think the two questions. And if you can keep the passion, then you have a good shot at it.
I'll show you these two comments before we go. I got Greg Fisher again. Look, he doesn't look any older than he does when he races.
Believe me, I am.
A nice compliment again. And Wes, obviously from the 90s Motocross Super Evo on Facebook. He's really cool. He's got a great following on there. But Zeb, pass on your contact details to Lee, and I'll send over 2 magazines with you on the cover.
Oh, I love it.
One to sign and one to keep.
Sounds like a deal.
Sounds like a
deal. Yeah.
Sounds like a deal.
That will be done. No problem. I'll be happy to. Yeah. I still have quite a bit some memory stuff that I keep at my parents' place, and you know, all my gears and stuff that I saved over the years from, and some magazine also where I'm out on. So that's you know, always nice. I mean, someday I will get the chance to go through it again, but been too busy. So, but it's cool. It was cool. It was a good time. I really enjoyed it.
Absolute privilege. I'll be forever grateful to speak to you twice. Once is amazing, twice unbelievable. Followed your career. Absolute legend, mate.
No, it was a pleasure. I mean, it was fun night, and then I really enjoyed it. So that was cool, and there were some good questions. So that
Yeah,
is good memories coming back. So that was awesome.
yeah, it's a
It was
beautiful thing.
faithful.
Thanks ever so much, Seb. Really appreciate your time, mate. Great to meet you. Much appreciated.
Yeah. Oh,
Take it
perfect.
easy. We'll
See
keep in
you. Bye
contact.
bye.
Cheers, Seb. Thank you
Yep.
very much.
Sounds
Cheers,
good.
mate.
Bye.
Top man. Thank you. What a legend. Seb Tortelli. Cheers, Seb. Absolute legend. What a man. Gotta love it. Absolute love it. Boom. Ah, love it. Couple of hours with Seb Tortelli. Not one interview, but 2 interviews in a week. Wow. Looks like he's up for that Wes with the cover as well. So we'll sort that out. Yes, Ian. Fantastic interview. Such a nice chat. Wow, he's so cool. Awesome interview, Lee. Seb Tortelli, true legend. Great interview, guys. Thanks for coming on, Zeb. All the best to Freddie as well. Don't forget British talent. Not sure who that is. Fantastic job, Lee. Outstanding. Thank you very much for coming on, guys. All your questions, brilliant as well. Thanks, Pat, as well, from 90s Motocross. Got some great questions as well. Thank you very much, Doug. Not sure who that is. Great. Thanks very much, whoever put that. You didn't stop smiling. No, I didn't. Big Cheshire grin, ear to ear and all that. I didn't ever think I'd ever even meet Seb. So to speak to him once, like I said to him, wow. To speak to him twice in a week, 2 parts. Even the missus. Well done, Lee. Thank you very much, Laney Lou. We'll have to have a nice little celebratory tea. Hopefully not in the dog. Thanks, Stewie. How's it going? Very cool guy. What a guy he is, isn't he? Yo, Wayner. Awesome interview. Love that, Lee. Yes, amazing, mate. Thanks, Wes, for coming on. Love your Evos, 90s, Super Evos. Beautiful group as well. Really cool to go and see all that. I love that page as well. Good work you're doing there, mate. Sorry for keep sharing my interviews over. Can't not let these ones go, though, can we? So good, Lee. Go for the trilogy. You never know. You never know. I think Zeb actually enjoyed it as well, which is cool. Brilliant stuff. Thanks, Ben. Good job with your crosswords, buddy. I think everyone enjoying them as well. Check your messages out. Freddy's with Tortelli. I will do, mate. I can see a few Facebook messages. I'll check that out and I'll send it over as well. Great guy. Nice one. I'm not sure who that is. Brilliant. Awesome interview. As always, great entertainment and memories. Thank you very much, whoever that is. So I hope you all saw the video of the new bike. Someone actually did moan and said, I did promise my wife I'm not doing any more competitions. Damn you, Lee, with the Tortelli replica. Yeah, I think a few might be doing that. So obviously, yeah, we've obviously amazingly just happened. I spotted this JHK replica. I haven't never seen one before, to be fair. I know I've only been back around in the sport for sort of getting towards a year now since last March lockdown, but I've not seen a JHK replica. I think someone I see doing Stefan Everts one that was pretty cool, but I haven't seen a Tortelli one. So there's obviously Zeb look on the bike with Jackie Vim on there. Look. So yeah, to get this bike, there's a couple of nice little niches that obviously have been added to it, like with the black rims and stuff. And Seb joked about the tire, said I don't think that's the original tire, which was quite cool. But yeah, really cool bike, especially to get Zeb on, and then to be able to get this bike competition going as well with the bike. It's obviously, as you can see, the attention to detail is very nice, all as new. Amazing bike. So I will be having that shortly with me. So then I'll do some more videos as well for you guys. I've got another video here for you as well for the people that are on here now. Here we go. I think she's going to be a peach. Very cool. What do we think? What do we think? See if there's any comments. Yes, Jeff, you were right in the mix in the GPs. It must have been very cool riding with guys like that. I was actually supposed to mention that comment as well. You said about shitting yourself. I did spot that and as well, and I was going to mention that. That was brilliant. Thanks for coming on, Jeff. Good to see you coming on. Love to get you at the BSMA reunion when I get that meeting going. Hopefully it doesn't clash with any of your stuff. We were talking about changing the date as well, so that might have suited you as well. So it wasn't a British Championship date and all that sort of thing, so that might have suited you. Great work as well with the Dirt Hub, and I know you have the guys in the front of the van. They're very enjoyable as well for the interviews, and Paul Oughton doing a very good job with the Dirt Hub. I know you guys do a great meeting every year as well, so keep that going, guys. Really good. That was me, Lee. My missus is currently packing her bags. Oh, Ian, you're killing me. Can't have a go on the competition. So for obviously you guys are all on here as well. Obviously, I'm drawing the Ricky Carmichael Splitfire 125 two-stroke MX Donations 98 Fox Hills replica. I'm doing the live draw for that tomorrow at 7 p.m. I'll just give you another quick go with her as well while we're here. That's all I got now, guys. 20-odd years since I rode, that's it. Just a little blip on the floor in the garden. But I do enjoy it, so very nice. So there she is. Silly me, I didn't put the phone round sideways so I could have had a full screen, but I'll remember that from now on. Getting used to these new videos, putting up the videos on here as well, which is pretty cool. It's proper tricked out as well, all proper pro circuit inside as well. Very nice. So I'll be doing the live draw on that tomorrow. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Can't wait to do that. Very excited to do that for you guys. So someone's going to be walking away with that tomorrow night. How cool is that? That was definitely my dream bike as a BSMA schoolboy rider in the 90s. Any pro circuit, split fire, whatever you call them, would have been amazing. That's awesome, Jeff. Love to have you there, mate. That would be really cool. So hopefully the dates work out with you guys. That'd be really good. I've got some old BSMA commentators lined up. Mr. Trevor Atfield, who did he was the chairman of BSMA, he was great with the microphone and the commentary, and also John Liddington, Steve Liddington's dad as well. He was another great when I was riding as well, brilliant on the commentary. But it'd be cool as well to get you up there as well, because I've enjoyed your commentary. I've seen you at Fox Hill and seen your commentary as well with the UK meetings, so it'd be cool to maybe get you involved in that as well. Be cool. But then again, you'll probably be riding. We can give it and Jeff Perrett's coming around the corner. That'd be cool. Thank you very much, David. Good questions as well, everyone. Bring back loads of memories, the sound of the KX250. Yeah. I love that though. My missus is packing my bags. Oh, you're killing me. So there she is. I'll be doing that tomorrow night, live at 7 p.m. UK time as well for the guys that come on from all over, which is really cool. So yeah, there we go then. So I will be back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. to do the live draw for that. Looking forward to that. I'm just going to play this for you as well while we're here. Just get rid of that for a second. Here we go. I'll just play that. Getting these videos down, people. Getting too used to my app, and I getting used to my app with getting these videos going in the intros, which I think is quite cool. I'll do an onboard commentary, but it'll sound like a dirty sex call. A lot of heavy breathing, eh, Jeff? Have you been on a bike recently, Jeff? When was the last time you've been out on the bike? I'm thinking about having a dabble, but it's been 21 years. I mean, imagine it. Oh my god. Pull a whole shot and pull off. What do you reckon? Oh, that's brilliant as well. Ian, my missus is walking around in suspenders and I hadn't even noticed. Oh god. When Zeb's on, full concentration. Oh god. Yeah, I spoke to Leon Woodford. I got him for the next BSMA Legends series that I'm doing. Loads of BSMA guys are going to get on as well. Doing him on Monday, 7 p.m. And he was saying that he's got a load of guys that do a lot of media stuff, and I know he's doing a lot of cool stuff, mental health and stuff with some videos. He's going to bring his guys as well, and have all these gadgets up in the air and all these drones or whatever you call them, and that. So that'd be quite cool as well to get the coverage there as well when we can get that meeting going. I think it's got a lot of interest, so it's really exciting. But we want a COVID-free one. We don't want masks and things. I think the reunion in itself, guys meeting each other that they raced obviously back in the day, 15, 20, 30 years ago with each other. It's going to be a great reunion, and definitely need like the beer tent reunion and all that sort of thing. So we don't want any COVID mask jobs. So 3 years ago. So I'll be having a mild cardiac arrest. 3 years don't sound too bad. I'm very scared that if I could have a go, like 20 years. Ugh. The thought of having a Potter, I don't know if I could do that. You know how it gets. 3 years ago. Ooh. I'm sure you'll be fine, Jeff. You don't lose that. Puff a bit, but you never lose the skills. And you've certainly got plenty of them, Jeff, so I'll ride with a camelback pouch with JD honey in it. Sorted. Yeah, you can use that as your pro boost. Or back in the day, cheeky bit of half gas. Bit of aeroplane fuel. My dad was quite glad when they stopped doing that because he couldn't afford most of it as it was when the guys started using the old half gas, the old aeroplane fuel. Jesus. I'm glad they took that out of the equation. But I think I remember quite a few of the guys getting caught with it at the end, old BSMA Nationals. When it got banned, you could smell it a mile off. But I look forward to that. Oh, so yes, interviews coming up. Sorry. So yeah, we will be starting obviously. So I'm doing the live draw tomorrow, 7 p.m. for the Ricky Carmichael Fox Hills MX Donations replica, and then obviously I'm going to be doing obviously this new Seb Tortelli replica JHK Kawasaki 250. That will be starting as well after tomorrow night. I'm just looking now at my interviews that I've sorted out for you guys. So where are we? We're up to the 18th. So Zeb was tonight, bike draw tomorrow, Monday 7 p.m. UK time. Going to have Leon Woodford on. Looking forward to that. And then on Tuesday, I've got 2 times Italian Speedway champion Paco Castagna. That's 7 p.m. UK time as well on the Tuesday. And I've also got a really cool special guest that's going to pop on and surprise Paco that I'm hopefully going to get down. That would be absolutely awesome. If you don't want to miss that. If that comes off, which hopefully it is, I've sort of sorted it out. Fingers crossed that works out. So a very special guest indeed to come on and surprise Paco. That'd be really cool. That can happen on the Tuesday. And then on the Thursday, the 25th of February, I'm going to be live with Paul Cooper, multi-British champion, of course, GPs and etc. Everyone remembers Paul Cooper very well. Very cool guy and very good rider. We enjoyed him for sure. So I'm going to get Paul Cooper. Laney's mugging me off, Andy. If you're watching, she's doing the whole UK time. 7 p.m. UK time. We've got to say that now. We've got people coming on here from Panama. They need to know when it is. So Paul Cooper, 7 p.m. UK time on the Thursday, the 25th. So look forward to that with Coops. And then on the Friday, the 26th, 7 p.m. UK time, obviously, is Lawrence Hare. You've seen Stuart, his brother, on, who actually won the full Hurlings gear the other week, signed gear. Fair play to him. Well done. He's always in the competitions. His brother, Lawrence Hare, former pro speedway rider. He's going to be on Friday, the 26th. And also, I've got a little bit more news. On Monday, the 1st, after that of March, I've spoke today to Chris Louis, legendary GB rider, speedway, now involved, obviously, runs Ipswich Speedway now, and done a sensational thing. We're bringing Jason Crump back to 3 times world champion back to British Speedway as well. So Chris Louis, obviously, was a legend in his own right, British champion, under 21 world champion, great rider for Ipswich over the years. He's going to be on Monday, 7 p.m. UK time, and fingers crossed as well, he'll be on with another British legend, Jeremy Doncaster. Had the famous nickname Donkey or Gem. So hopefully I'm going to be having Chris Louis and Jeremy Doncaster on the 1st of March together. So that'll be the second time I pair up after the Bruce Pennell and Eric Gunderson. That was amazing. So fingers crossed on that. Chris Louis is definitely down for it. So that'll be all good with him. Just going to hear back from, obviously, hopefully Jeremy, and then I'll get that confirmed. Jeff Perrott, maybe more than 3 years. I'll buy an automatic so I don't have to use the clutch driving home. That's why I've got an automatic car now, Jeff. Can't be bothered to change gears. But you'd be slightly cool. You imagine the week or two after that, eh? And by the way, as you know, 7 p.m. UK time that would be. In my cheeky little diary that Laney Lou got me. Jamie Ashby, 7 p.m. UK time. They're all trying to mug me off. Like my brother's mugging me off. My missus is mugging me off. But they do that. They do that a lot. What time's the draw tomorrow for the bike? 2 guesses, brother. 7 p.m. UK time. So we're doing that tomorrow. 7 p.m. UK time. Boo boo. Me and my lemon and lime Tesco sparkling. There you go. Cheers. So I will see you all tomorrow night then, hopefully. Hopefully there'll be plenty of you guys on. Do the draw for that. Really excited for that. I'll be definitely have the old pre-match nerves for that. I always get the nerves for the draws. Exciting stuff. Get the old tombola out. Remember not to say Alexa, Kylie Minogue spinning around, give it the background music, and then all the old legal stuff comes up on there and just throws your life off. Do you know what, Craig? That's a very good thought. I have been thinking about this. Obviously, I've all done motocross memorabilia at the minute, on the kits, the shirts, the signed shirts, everything. But I think we should get into the speedway memorabilia and bikes as well. Would be really cool, wouldn't it? Especially if we can get bikes that are from riders before, because we do a lot of replicas on the motocross ones that people really love, to the replicas of their favorite riders and stuff like that. So possibly if we could get speedway bikes from former pros or current pros, would be a very cool thing as well, wouldn't it? What do you think on that, Craig? Thank you very much as well. With the Jardine in Telford Conservatories, Mr. Craig Triplett there. Top man. Much appreciated for the support. Oh, Matt, top man for coming on again early. Can't wait for another 5 a.m. live feed. I think you mean live and not love, do you? You're pretty sure you don't live being 5 a.m. Yeah, look, Craig, even the missus is excited about that. That would be cool. She's a Speedway fan of the mighty Swindon Robins, obviously. I was going to look round then, because I normally got my Swindon Robins t-shirt up on the wall, but yeah, it would be a very good idea. That would be a good one, I think. Definitely. We get, obviously, everything's sort of pretty much 50-50 with the live interviews. Try to keep it 50-50 on the interviews. We seem to have loads of race fans for the Speedway and the Motocross, and generally a lot of the Motocross fans and Speedway fans are fans of each other's sport anyway. So you're killing me, Andy. What time's the UK time of the KX? +5, all right? Oh, you're killing me. But yeah, I think that would be cool if we could get former riders' bikes. I know a lot of the guys keep bikes and do up bikes, restore bikes, the same as the Motocross. It'd be cool to get something like that, or even like a bike from a pro rider now that's obviously finished their season and then they sell bikes and things like that, or anything like that. I'm sure there's plenty about. It would be cool to do a Speedway one. Yeah, definitely. We have been sort of thinking about that, so I'm glad you brought that up, Craig. Thanks for that. Dear. A lot of cheekiness going on. Yeah. Yes, Andy, don't worry. You can record, Corey, all these mod cons now, recording 5 things at once and all that. I hate breaks. The advertisement breaks. I don't like them. So I don't watch anything live, pretty much. I can't remember the last time I watched anything live on TV. 1, because you're always too busy doing stuff, and 2, because I don't like the breaks. It's the bottom line. So I'll have to forward them on. I won't tell you what I'm into watching. Nothing too bad, but it's not something you boast about to the boys and all that. What is it again, Lady Lou? What's the thing we watch? There's 2 things, isn't there? What's the 2 things? Yeah, Married at First Sight Australia. Obviously, that's a must. And what? That's it. Below Deck. Don't know if anyone else watches that. That's Andy's fault as well. Keep bringing up boats, charter boats. And you see all the staff on these. It's really cool. I think it's cool anyway. But that's me. We watch that as well. Below Deck is called, if you want to check it out. Charter boats, all the staff on it, but it is quite a lot of funny stuff goes on. Anyway, so I will see you tomorrow night then. If everyone's going to be about for the KX draw. Andy knows what time. If you want to contact Andy Hobbs, he'll let you know what time it's going to be tomorrow night. Callum Marshall. He's always getting on at me, Callum, about the Alan Graham live interview. He obviously did the one with his brother Andy Graham that used to race with my dad as well, which was very cool. 1984 British champion as well, Andy was. But Alan Graham, I've spoke to Andy's Mrs. Jill Graham because they obviously set it all up for Andy to be on a laptop. Didn't obviously have a clue about them sort of things, so that was good that they set him up. They said basically it's about the COVID, Callum. So basically, obviously Alan is not going to be going around and visiting Andy while the COVID's on and all that sort of stuff. But we will get him set up over Andy's house, and Jill will set it up. She said to me. So once we get past all that, then we'll get Alan Graham on for you. You can stop busting my ball. Andy will let you below deck if he wins. What are we talking about here? Below deck. Don't talk about below deck here. Thanks very much, Craig. Appreciate it. Oh, obviously, I did speak to Craig as well about Luke Becker. Yes, the talented Luke Becker, the American. I know that Greg Hancock's been involved with him, helping him out. A great prospect. Yeah, we're gonna hopefully get him on as well. That'd be cool. Get the youngsters on as well that are just going to be setting the world alight in the speedway scene. I know I'm getting old because the other day I was watching a porn video and I thought the bed looked comfortable. Andy, have you had any cold callers tonight? Oh, you don't want to know what Andy does when he gets cold callers over the phone trying to sell him something. Oh wow, it was bro. He is so classic, that man. And by the way, he's full of magic tricks, literally. Oh, he's absolutely ledge. Lee below deck is out of bounds still, I would think. Yeah, it is for me, unfortunately. I'm 3 weeks deep now. Wow, Tuesday coming, I'm going to be 4 weeks in, and I went to, I always talk about personal stuff anyway, so it doesn't matter. Went to the doctors the other day, had to go back, and seems that I've probably got an infection, so I've got antibiotics at the moment, which I've just realised that I'm late for. So I'll be having antibiotics for my tea. Oh God, don't start her off. Tell them. Yeah, okay. So Andy gets a cold caller, and then whoever he's with at that time, you'll take the call, and then he goes into the fact that he makes out that he's actually. Can you just hold on a second? He's just having sex with the missus. Whoever's with him makes the noises and all that, and he's going, "Oh, sorry about this. I'll be back in a minute." And keeps him hanging on. Oh, it's absolutely classic. Brilliant. Why didn't I ever think of that? Probably because I didn't answer him. Yep, send me some pictures over, Callum. Thanks, mate. Right then, let's get going. Got to go and have some tea. I'll let you people go and watch your recordings of Coronation Street or Love at First Sight Australia, maybe, or Below Deck, non-sexual. Watch that series. It is very good. Is it on Netflix, Lane? That Below Deck? Netflix. Two series on Netflix, 8 series on Amazon Prime. There you go. Full of good information, me. Good night, mate. Cheers, Ian. Good night, everybody. And I will leave you in my dad's quote. Bless him. It's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. And it's important to be magical, Andy. You certainly are. Brilliant. So, ciao bella, people, and I will speak to you tomorrow night for the live draw. And you know what time? You know this off by heart now. 7 p.m. See you 7 p.m. tomorrow night. I was going to go and say that Lane is going to go and arrange the balls for the tombola, but we won't talk about balls either. Ciao bella, people. Thanks ever so much for tonight. Awesome. Seb Tortelli, share the live out, the recording of this tomorrow, and then obviously I'll catch up with everyone, let them know about the new bike. Obviously, you haven't been on tonight, tomorrow night. So I'll see you all soon. UK time, Andy, 100%. 7 p.m. UK time. See you tomorrow. Record all your corries. Get the beers and the popcorns and the potential fabs, something like that, like 5 or 6 boxes of fabs maybe, and sit down and enjoy the draw. We'll have a laugh. Well, I'll be sweating and under pressure and scared, but you lot can enjoy it. See you later, people. Ciao bella. Good night and God bless. Ciao bella.